Will the Big 12 have the best quarterback play in all of college football in 2024? Even better than the SEC and the Big 10? Well, that argument can be made. I believe it, and now 24/7 Sports believes it as well. And I'm going to give you the data to back that up, and I'm going to do it right after this word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock every time. With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for. Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com or come in today to the home of friends and family pricing, only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store near you. What is up? Welcome in. Come on in. Make yourself comfortable. Belly yourself up to the bar. And let me serve you up this shot of top shelf college football content. If you like top shelf college football news and analysis about West Virginia, about the Big 12, and or about conference realignment, this is a channel for you. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. Please like this video if I earn it. And please drop a comment below and let me know what you think about this top 25 quarterback list from 24/7 Sports, which I'm going to share with you. Now, by the way, in this top 25 list, 8 of the 25 quarterbacks are out of the Big 12 conference, more than any other conference on the list, even more than the SEC, who has 7. Big 10 only had 3 guys on this list. ACC had 5, and there were 2 from the group of 5. Now, let's get started. Now, what I'm going to do is share the article with you. Now, what I'm going to do is read this article along with you, but I'm going to read the outlook and the statistics for the Big 12 quarterbacks, but I'm not going to do that for the other quarterbacks on this list just for the sake of time, because this is a Big 12-centric channel. Number 1 on the list, edge goes to the SEC here as they named Carson Beck as the top quarterback in the country going into 2024. Hard to argue with that when you look at his numbers and the fact that Georgia is such a good football team. Number 2, the first one from the Big 12 who has 3 in the top 10, and it's Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. Now, I did a video of my own ranking the Big 12 quarterbacks in 2024. I'll leave a link to that video at the end. But just as a spoiler, I did have Shedeur Sanders pretty high on my list. 24/7 Sports has him number 2 in the entire country. Whether you like him, whether you hate him, you can't argue with Shedeur Sanders' talent, and you can't argue with the numbers. In his career, which includes 2 seasons at Jackson State, an FCS program, he's 911 of 1,326 attempts, 68.7% completion percentage, 10,193 yards, 97 TDs, 17 picks. And keep in mind, he was sacked over 50 times last year at Colorado and still only threw 4 interceptions. Now, the outlook by 24/7 Sports. Behind one of the country's most porous offensive lines last season, Shedeur Sanders proved his worth within the Power 5 after throwing 27 touchdown passes in essentially 10 games. He officially had 11 starts, but only played a couple series against Washington State in November before leaving the Buffalo's penultimate contest with an injury. He'll have a chance this fall to ascend to top quarterback billing ahead of the 2025 NFL Draft if there's better play up front and Colorado gets to bowl eligibility thanks to his arm and accuracy. Number 3 on the list, Quinn Ewers. SEC now gets credit for Quinn Ewers. He's number 3 from Texas. Number 4, another SEC quarterback, Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. Number 5, and the second Big 12 quarterback on our list is Noah Fafita from Arizona. Yes, another Big 12 newcomer. These schools from the Pac-12 are bringing some good quarterbacks with them, folks. It's going to be an exciting season of Big 12 football. Noah Fafita, in his 1 year at Arizona as a freshman, he was 250 of 352, 71% completion percentage, 2,997 yards, 26 touchdowns, 6 picks. 24/7's outlook. After a standout sophomore season, Noah Fafita stayed put at Arizona despite watching his head coach Jed Fish bolt for Washington at season's end. According to PFF, Fafita was at his best under pressure last season with one of the highest passer ratings in the country under duress. And on money downs, Fafita's grade of 90.3 was number 3 nationally. The young signal caller can play as one of the top sub 6 feet passers in college football. Now, I said he's a freshman. They said he's a sophomore. I'm not sure what it is. Let me know in the comments if you're an Arizona fan watching this. Number 6, Oregon's Dillon Gabriel, former Oklahoma player, transferred to Oregon to finish out his career. Number 7, I'm not sure I agree with the high placement on this one, but it's Drew Aller from Penn State. I don't think Drew Aller should be 7 on this list. He didn't show me as much last year as what I expected him to. Number 8, Jalen Milroe from Alabama, another SEC quarterback. Number 9, Cam Ward out of Miami, recent transfer from Washington State. And number 10, another Big 12 quarterback, and the third in the top 10, Cam Rising from Utah. And again, it's one of the Pac-12 newcomers. His career stats, 456 of 711, which is 64.1%, 5,572 yards, 46 touchdowns to only 14 interceptions. And because he's a true dual threat, he also has carried the ball for 953 rushing yards and 12 rushing touchdowns. Outlook from 24/7. Rarely does a quarterback with a pair of conference championships, to his credit, return for a 7th season, but Cameron Rising gave it another go after missing the 2023 season with a knee injury. The Utes enter the Big 12, and according to most projections, are a playoff contender as one of the league's new frontrunners. Rising made big plays in crucial moments during his career and has seen just about everything as a starting quarterback. Hard to disagree with that statement right there. Cam Rising's an awesome quarterback, and because of him and him deciding to return, that's the reason a lot of people have them picked to be so rated so highly in 2024, and most people, I think, are picking Utah to win the Big 12. Number 11 on the list, the first of 2 group of 5s, and that's Caden Salter from Liberty. Number 12, and another Big 12 quarterback, is Jalen Daniels from Kansas. Now, I love Jalen Daniels. I think he's very talented. He does have injury issues, and I am concerned how well he will do under a new offensive coordinator. Kansas is losing Andy Kotelnicki, who I think was a large reason for the success at Kansas. And we will see how well Jalen can do without Kotelnicki, but 24/7 Sports seems to think he'll do pretty well. Their outlook: can Jalen Daniels stay healthy? That's the major question most everyone has for the veteran Big 12 quarterback who played in only 3 games last season after having a statistically efficient 2022 campaign for the Jayhawks. At full strength, there are few better in big-time situations than Daniels on the move, but he's yet to play in 10 games during any season. Losing his OC to Penn State is something to watch too, so they kind of agree that losing Kotelnicki could be an issue here. Now, his stats: he's 365 of 574, 63.6% completion percentage, 4,297 yards, 31 touchdowns, 12 picks, 602 rushing yards, and 13 rushing touchdowns. Number 13 on the list, Will Howard, former Big 12 quarterback, now Big 10 quarterback at Ohio State. 14, Connor Weigman from Texas A&M. 15, my guy, and the 5th Big 12 quarterback on the list, Mr. Garrett Greene from West Virginia. Now, I'm a little biased, but I think Garrett should be higher on the list than this. But nonetheless, these are some really good quarterbacks he's going up against here. But Garrett's career stats: 209 of 385 passing, which is 54.4%. That is the one knock on Garrett Greene, is his completion percentage. He's thrown for 3,070 yards, 21 touchdowns, 7 picks, but he's also rushed for 1,385 yards and 13 touchdowns in his career. The outlook from 24/7. The advanced analytics suggest Garrett Greene is college football's most underrated returning quarterback in 2024 after he exploded onto the scene for the Mountaineers last season. He led the FBS ranks in big-time throws last fall per PFF and is rarely sacked when pressure given his mobility. It's a dangerous comp, sure. Listen to this. But Greene is the closest quarterback we've seen to Johnny Manziel in the Power Conference ranks in several years. That's right, folks. He's being compared to Johnny Manziel. I'll take it. He's lethal on the move and can move the chains with his feet or finding guys at the second level when the secondary begins to close in. So really high praise for Garrett Greene there. He is 15th out of 25. I'd like to see him a little bit higher, but that's still not a bad place to be. Number 16 is Seth Hennigan from Memphis, the second and last group of 5 QB on this list. Number 18, Grayson McCall, NC State. Number 19, DJ Uiagalelei from Florida State, the transfer from Oregon State. Number 20, Preston Stone from SMU, who, yes, is now part of the ACC or will be part of the ACC in 24. Number 21, Riley Leonard from Notre Dame. 22, and another Big 12 QB, and it's KJ Jefferson from UCF. His career stats: 626 of 962, which is 65.1%, 7,911 yards, 67 touchdowns, 18 picks. It's pretty impressive. As an SEC quarterback, he threw 67 touchdowns and only 18 interceptions. He also has ran for 1,876 yards and 21 scores on the ground. Outlook. A 3-year starter in the SEC at Arkansas, Jefferson played for several different coordinators, and rather than stay put under new OC Bobby Petrino, he left for the portal and will team up with Gus Malzahn at UCF with any scheme that's ideal for his skill set. We all saw what Gus Malzahn did with Cam Newton at Auburn the year he was OC there, and led them when they went to a national championship game. So what will he be able to do with KJ Jefferson? As a fan of another Big 12 team, I'm a little nervous about KJ Jefferson coming into the league. And West Virginia does have to play UCF in 24, so I'm a little nervous about that. 23 on the list, another Big 12 quarterback, Avery Johnson from Kansas State. Career stats as a freshman last year was 37 of 66, which is 56.1%, 479 yards, 5 touchdowns. Those don't blow you away. He had 296 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns. But the thing is, he did it in just a few games. The outlook from 24/7 Sports. Rarely are two programs okay with a player leaving. But the Wildcats didn't panic after multi-year starter Will Howard entered the portal and signed with Ohio State. Avery Johnson, a freshman, showed enough in a limited role to give Kansas State's coaching staff and those around him considerable confidence that he'll be a difference maker this fall, especially after his bowl performance against NC State. Very, very, for him to make 23rd out of 25 on a national list, playing only limited snaps last year in limited action, shows you how talented and the upside of this young man. 24 is Haynes King from Georgia Tech, and last on the list is Nico Iamaleava from Tennessee, and I hope I got his name right. He is 25 out of 25. Now, there were a few honorable mentions as well. They were Garrett Nussmeier, LSU, Jackson Arnold, Oklahoma, Byron Brown, USF, Miller Moss, USC, Tyler Van Dyke, Wisconsin, Jordan McLeod, Texas State, Joey Aguilar from Appalachian State, Chandler Rogers of Cal, Jacob Zeno at UAB, and Malik Murphy of Duke. If that name Jacob Zeno sounds familiar, that's because he was once a backup quarterback at Baylor with a very, very high ceiling. He has since transferred and is at UAB now. So there you have it, folks. What do you think about this list from 24/7 Sports? Let me know in the comments section. Personally, like I said, I'd put Garrett Greene probably a little higher on my list than 15th. For Garrett Greene to be 15 out of 25 after being picked last year. Think about this. He was picked 69th in the Power 5 last year of all quarterbacks by this same media outlet. He's now 15th in the country. Think about that. He went from 69th to 15th in one season, folks. That is how good Garrett Greene is. He has a lot of room to grow. That completion percentage can do nothing but go up, in my opinion, as he improves his footwork, his accuracy on the short and intermediate throws. But I think we will see even better performance from Garrett Greene in 2024. Let me know in the comments section what you think. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to give my VIP member shout-outs for this episode. They are Outlaw of College Football, Big Dan T, Luke Bart, and Cody Cutright. Go check out Outlaw of College Football's channel right now on YouTube. And want to give a shout-out to all of these VIP members. If you want to join that club, all you have to do is hit the join button below or go to my link to my channel page in the description box and join there. Also, check out my merch store. 20% off all items in my merch store now through March 12th. Go check it out. Click the link in my description box for that as well. You can check out this video here that I mentioned earlier where I rank the Big 12 quarterbacks going into 2024. I appreciate you tuning into this episode. Have a top shelf day and cue Country Roads.